Hi everyone, I'm Faida, and today we're going to be talking about the African diaspora in Germany.
Freedom is
Since World War II, Germany hasn't kept official statistics on the ethnic makeup of its citizens, meaning it's impossible to know the exact size of the African diaspora in Germany today.
The European Commission Against Racism and Intolerance puts the number of Afro-Germans at 300 to 500,000, though credible sources put the figure at closer to 900,000. Afro-Germans refer to themselves as Afrodeutsch, meaning Afro-German, or Schwarzdeutsch, which means Black German. One of the first known Africans to live in Germany was Anton Wilhelm Amal, who was trafficked from Ghana in the early 1700s and given as a gift to the Duke of Brunswick-Wolfenbüttel. He became the first African to study at a European university. He studied a variety of disciplines, including metaphysics, physiology, history, law, theology, politics, and medicine, eventually gaining a doctorate in philosophy. He also mastered 6 European languages: English, French, Dutch, Latin, Greek, and of course German.
In the latter half of his life, the racist climate in Germany forced him to return to his homeland of Ghana, where he died in relative obscurity.
Africans began arriving in the largest numbers during the high colonial period of the 19th century, when Germany colonized several African countries during the scramble for Africa. German territories in Africa included modern-day Namibia, Tanzania, Burundi, Rwanda, Togo, and Cameroon. By law, mixed marriages in African colonies were forbidden. From the late 1800s onwards, Germany hosted several ethnological expositions, colloquially dubbed human zoos. This phenomenon was not unique to Germany. Human zoos took place across Europe and the United States. Families from across Africa and Asia were put on display in walled enclosures designed to mimic their natural habitat and forced to perform for paying European customers. German merchant Karl Hagenbeck was a well-known supplier of human zoos internationally and toured his very own Nubian exhibit around Paris, Berlin, and London. German laws implemented in 1901 made it very difficult to recruit human subjects from German colonies. However, a number of human zoos were established in cities across the US, the UK, France, and Belgium.
The number of Afro-Germans increased again when the First World War broke out in 1914.
French Senegalese soldiers arrived in the Rhineland and in major cities around Germany. Some of them married German women and had biracial children. By 1920, there was approximately 20,000 Africans and Afro-descendants in Germany. Their mixed-race offspring was socially isolated, professionally limited, and barred from attending university or joining the army. In the years between the 2 world wars, African-American jazz musicians and entertainers were wildly popular in Berlin. Both the activist W.E.B. Du Bois and the suffragist Mary Church Terrell studied in Berlin, remarking that they faced less racial discrimination in Germany than in the US.
Tragically, the rise of the Nazi Party in the 1930s greatly impacted the nature of race relations in Germany.
An early Afro-German victim of the Nazi Party's racist brutality was Larry Gilgis, a mixed-race pro-communist, anti-fascist activist and political campaigner who was gruesomely murdered by the police in 1933 at the young age of 24.
Under the Nazis' racial purity laws, thousands of Afro-Germans, Afro-Europeans, and African-Americans were sent to concentration camps and prisoner of war camps. No official statistics exist on how many black people the Nazis killed, in part because the Nazis destroyed many of the documents that provided concrete evidence.
Mixed-race children born to black soldiers and German women were referred to as occupation babies, half-breeds, and bastards of the Rhineland. Part of the Nazi racial purity campaign included having at least 400 of these mixed-race children forcibly sterilized.
Over the decades, many Afro-German activists have been instrumental in raising the profile of Afro-Germans in wider German society.
May Ayem was a prominent poet, writer, and activist who dedicated her life's work to exploring and celebrating the lived experiences of the black community in Germany, particularly black women. There is a street named after her in Berlin. Other notable Afro-Germans include the singer Laila Negra, chemist and politician Karamba Diaby, and activist Katarina Oguntoye. Together with May Ayem and Dagmar Schultz, Katharina Oguntoye wrote the seminal book, Showing Our Colours, Afro-German Women Speak Out, which was the first book ever published by Afro-Germans.
Freedom.